Hey, JK here. I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me. Ladies and gentlemen, for day 7, we're going to be traveling from the south side of Chicago up to Minnesota. We're going to be talking about the Twins, who doubled the number of wins for the White Sox, 41 to 82, an 82-80 record. That was good for 4th in the AL Central. Definitely disappointing because I thought the Twins were going to win this division, because last year I said they had better pitching than hitting. The Royals have entered the chat. While the Minnesota Twins did a great job with the pitching, they did do a good job with hitting. There were only 2 batters that met the 502 at-bat threshold. Those were Willie Castro and Carlos Santana. So as we talk about the team leaders, you're going to hear mainly those 2 names. Now, Carlos Santana, of course, you would expect him to lead in total bases because he hit the most home runs. Because he hit the most home runs, he probably had the most RBIs. Because he hit the most home runs, he also probably had in slugging. He also had the most walks on the team. Therefore, he had on-base plus slugging. Well, that means Willie Castro led in hits, runs, doubles, triples, stolen bases, batting average, on-base percentage, and strikeouts. So, those 2 guys really did lead the team with everything. Now, as we move to the particular players I want to talk about, not the stars, I do want to go over some little tidbits of information very similar to what I did with previous teams. However, I do want to note that Carlos Correa played in more than half the games for the Twins this year. Ragged on him last year saying he was very injury prone, and he is. And I tell you one thing, ladies and gentlemen, he missed time because of injury again in 2024, so it is what it is. The crazy part is, though he only played in half the games, he's still ranked in the top 5 for several categories for the Twins. The next little factoid involves strikeouts. While yes, Willie Castro led the team with 150 strikeouts, he was only one of 2 players that had 100 plus strikeouts. So the team itself does not strike out much, which is great. The team itself also does not steal bases, as Willie Castro led the team in stolen bases with 14. In fact, he was the only player with double-digit stolen bases. So you gotta do something more on the base pass to generate some more runs, to generate some more hits. Come on, guys. First player we're going to talk about is actually one of my favorite players and the guy I took first overall in one of my leagues last year. Hold on before you jump on me. It is a keeper league. There are 8 keepers over 25 rounds, so a third of my team is already set. Okay? There are 10 people in this league, so there are at least 80 of the top players who are already taken. I wanted power. I took Royce Lewis. I love my boy. Mainly because we got the same knees. Bad. That's it. They're just bad knees. Now, this guy's a glass cannon. I really enjoy him when he's on the field, and he absolutely came to play in 2023 as he hit over 300, and he had some monster shots, mainly coming in the form of home runs, which were grand slams. Holy cow. Now, from 23 to 24, he actually had more at-bats because he wasn't as injured, but his numbers didn't really look all that great. He did improve in runs, he did improve in RBIs, but he only hit 1 more home run, and his batting average dropped 70 points. So I assume the Twins are likely going to give him some more time off or put him at DH, therefore he doesn't have to man the hot corner. Move from one injury-prone player to another one. Byron Buxton played in 100 plus games for only the 2nd time in his 10-year career. Can you believe that? I cannot. He's been in the league for 10 years? That's it? Man, he looks like he's like 87 years old. And when he's supposed to be a speed demon, so fast on the base paths, I've yet to see those stolen bases. Now, there was improvement from 23 to 24, not only games played, but in actual stats. Added a few more RBIs, added a few more runs. He also only hit, similarly, only 1 more home run, just like Royce Lewis. However, instead of dropping 70 points, he raised his batting average 70 points. And again, that was with more at-bats. So, it looks like Byron Buxton might know what he's doing now. It only took him 10 years, right? I think the best part about having a Byron Buxton, who was a hyped-up prospect, who came in with all these expectations and fell very short of them, he can help these up-and-coming prospects, these younger guys who do hit those plateaus, who hit those walls, who lose confidence. He can say, hey guys, it's okay. You have guys around you who will be able to help you. Walker Jenkins, Emmanuel Rodriguez. Those 2 guys, the Twins want to come up and they want to be their guys. Also, younger guys, Edouard Julien, who we'll talk about here shortly, Royce Lewis, like we've already talked about. Those two young guys, Brooks Lee, we're going to talk about him in a second. They need some encouragement. They need some mentoring. And yes, you can look at some greats from the Twins past. You can look at guys on the roster now who have been around for a little bit, who were there previously. But the thing is, when you have a guy like a Buxton, I think that's great. I think that's the best thing for any up-and-coming talent or talent that's already at the major league level. So if he can stay healthy, he can provide an example. But if he can't stay healthy, be there, be present, and make sure you're teaching and growing and mentoring these younger guys. Talking about young guys on the team, Brooks Lee is absolutely one of those guys who's going to need some mentorship, especially because right now he is in a battle to be the starting second or third baseman. Now, if he has both eligibility positions, then please, Royce Lewis, take some time off, hit some DH, keep your knees, or what you have left of them. Brooks Lee came up and he started guns a-blazing. He had a 300 batting average after his first 10 games and then cooled down very quickly. Never was able to heat back up. But he is absolutely one of those guys the Twins want to be their guy. It's like we talked about before. They want to bring these guys up. They want to have them in the game, and they want them to grow. They want them to hit the ground running. That's what Brooks Lee is going to be doing. He's going to be battling some veterans who have like a year or two more experience than him. But here's the thing. If he can play multiple positions, he's going to increase his opportunities to be on the field. The hope for the Twins is that Brooks can harness that power in the first 10 games and extend that over 162 so that he can be one of their better players and make sure they get to the playoffs. As we move to the pitching, we're going to be talking about two guys who are battling it out for the supremacy to be the ace going into 2025. And the thing was, the actual best pitcher wasn't even in the conversation. The top two guys on the team for the Minnesota Twins last year were Bailey Ober and Pablo Lopez. Pablo Lopez is coming off one of his best years in 2023, so there were a lot of expectations, but also some hesitancy because he hadn't pitched over 200 innings. He had not gone that well 2 years in a row, and he had hit over 200 strikeouts. People were not expecting that. I said if he were able to hit another 10 wins, 200 strikeouts, 200 innings pitched, this man was going to be a Cy Young winner. He didn't hit those, but not all of them at least. But he did absolutely show why he is one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball. Pablo Lopez led the Twins in games started, quality starts, innings pitched, wins, losses, strikeouts, and earned runs given up. On the other side, Bailey Ober decided he wanted to lead the team in WHIP and ERA and home runs given up. Simeon Woods-Richardson led the team in walks, while Griffin Jax led the team in holds, and Johan Duran led the team in saves. Now, we touched on the best pitcher not even being in the conversation. That's because, in my opinion, the best pitcher on the Twins team is Joe Ryan. Now, something that's been off with Joe Ryan the last few years. The thing is, his off season are career best seasons for others. Joe Ryan's down year consisted of 161 innings pitched, 197 strikeouts, 1.17 whip, and a super unlucky 4.51 ERA. As the last few years have gone, his innings pitched have gone down. His walks have also gone down. You would think, well, yeah, if you're pitching less, you're going to likely walk less, right? You would think. However, his strikeouts per 9 innings and his strikeout ratio compared to walks have gone up the last 3 years as his innings have gone down. Someone who is not one of the top pitchers in Major League Baseball, but has potential, is Simeon Woods-Richardson. He had 48 walks. He only pitched 133 innings. He did start 28 games and had 7 quality starts. So 25% of the time, he's getting a quality start. That's not bad. It's not great because you're giving up lots of hits, lots of walks, lots of earned runs because you are absolutely a contact pitcher. To reiterate even more how Simeon Woods-Richardson is absolutely not a strikeout pitcher, there were 2 instances where he struck out 7 or more batters last year. There were 11 instances where he struck out 3 or less. One of those games, he had struck out 1 player, but induced 14 fly balls. So he is a contact pitcher that could be kind of scary at times. Going to a hitter-friendly ballpark, and it could be over very quickly. So Simeon Richardson is absolutely going to have to hone himself and get better with his pitches. However, when you look at the 3 guys in front of him, potentially 4, I don't know if you consider Chris Paddock better than him. He might be at the back end of the rotation, but I digress. There are definitely guys that are able to help him. Pablo, Joe Ryan, Bailey Ober. If those guys can mentor Simeon Richardson, he could absolutely turn into a big problem in the AL Central. Speaking of Chris Paddock, 2022 and 2023 were terrible seasons for him. Started 7 and 5 games respectively, did not do well, had to stop pitching for a bit, and then came back in 2024 and had to stop pitching for a little bit again because of a shoulder strain. So, here's the thing, Chris Paddock, you might know how to pitch, but your body doesn't want you to. That's just it. So you're going to be on a super short leash because while there aren't many pitchers that can come up right now for the Minnesota Twins, they could go grab someone off the street. Because here's the thing. If someone can pitch to at least the 5th inning, obviously you want a quality start. But here's the thing. Simeon Richardson was at 82 pitches per outing. So if he can get to the bullpen, Chris Paddock or someone else can. Bullpen is my favorite part of this team. They have such strong members. I really think that if any pitcher that the Twins throw out can get to the 6th inning, they're in good shape. Now, Johan Duran, absolutely one of the strongest pitchers when it comes to fastest throwing in the league, hitting triple digits without problem. I don't think he's the best closer on the team. We'll get to that in a second. Duran's numbers have definitely fallen. He pitched in less innings last year. His ERA went up by 1.2 points, and he also had more walks. That's not good. So, you think, who then could be the closer? Brock Stewart, he's strong. Cole Sands, he's strong. They added Danny Colomb, he's strong. He's not a closer. Griffin Jax. This man had 71 innings pitched last year and 95 strikeouts. Oh, his ERA? 2.03. His whip? 0.87. Get this man in the closer role right now. While I'm very emphatic about Griffin Jax being one of the best relievers on this team, if not the closer who should be there, I did also mention Danny Colomb. He came over from Baltimore, had an off year last year because of injury, but he was part of that rotation in the bullpen that was very strong for them. Right before Felix Bautista, you had a plethora of guys who would get you to the 9th inning and make sure the big cat could get that win or the save, whichever one it was. Some other additions on this team, while there aren't many, not many big ones at least, Ty France will be taking over first as they did lose Carlos Santana. Absolutely nowhere in the same ballpark. Not even close. While losing longtime Twin Max Kepler and Manny Margot, who's been pretty much everywhere in the league, they picked up Harrison Bader. He's also made a few stops here and there, mainly known for his time in St. Louis with the Cardinals, but he's got a little bit of pop and a good bit of speed. He can play all over in the outfield, so he is a strong member to bring onto this team. Don't know if he's going to be starting, but he can absolutely fill in where he needs to be. That's a wrap for the Twins. We're going to be heading east to go to Detroit, Motor City, talk about the Tigers. They had a great year last year. They definitely have some good pitching, but they have some quality hitters who I'm excited to talk about. I look forward to talking to you more tomorrow. This is Jake Cake, and I want to thank you for sharing part of your day with me.